you still want to improve your aim without spending hours a day in deathmatch, this video is for you. Hi, my name is John. I go by the alias DJ. I've been playing top tier North American Counter-Strike for years now. I'm going to go ahead and link my Wikipedia and HLTV down below. Let's get into it. So I'm going to be talking about the ways that we can train our aim without playing deathmatch. Idea being here that we can do this every single day without worrying whether or not a server is populated. This is the kind of routine you can repeat as many times a day as you like, but something to keep in mind is that taking breaks helps. Getting started, we want to make sure that we're on a reasonable sensitivity that we can control. For me, that's something like doing a little bit more than a 180 with one swipe of my mouse pad. So if I go slow or if I go fast, idea being that one swipe for me is a little bit more than a 180. And that's how I know that I'm on the right sensitivity. So when we're just starting out, something a lot of people get wrong is that they try to kill too many bots too fast. Their goal is just looking at the number. How fast can I kill them? Oh, this feels good. The thing that we want to be doing when we're first starting out is making sure that all of our hand movements and in coordination with our keyboard is smooth and controlled. It doesn't need to be fast, because slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So the faster we get at being controlled, the more likely we are to get those kills in the game. Focus on just starting out with slow, controlled one taps. We're not trying to kill bots super fast. We're just trying to get our hand and our arm comfortable moving just to start. If you want to change it up a little bit, you want to add a bit of verticality to it. I know plenty of people like to sit on this ledge and do the same thing. Remember, the key here is not to try and kill as many bots as possible. The key here is to be slow and controlled. It doesn't matter how fast we kill these bots. No one is judging us for how fast we're shooting them, how accurate we are. This is the place to make all the mistakes with your aim, because we're going to work it all out. Pay attention to the things that you do with your hand. Are you overshooting your bots? Are you moving too fast? Are you not able to accurately place the crosshair on the enemy's head? All these things should sort of give you an idea as to whether or not your sensitivity is too fast, your sensitivity is too slow, how your arm is positioned on the mouse pad, whether or not you need to get your wrist or arm involved. I'll talk about the difference between wrist and arm aiming in another video. Once we feel like our smooth aim is feeling pretty good, we're just going to pick up the pace a little bit here. And it doesn't matter if we miss. We're just kind of seeing how our muscle memory is. How fast are we able to go without overshooting? And remember, the mistakes here do not matter, because we're going to correct them as time goes on. Alright, and once we're feeling comfortable with our fast aim, let's go back to moving slow. Just like when we exercise, if you do exercise, it's not about the amount of reps that you complete, but it's about the amount of control that you have over the exercise. Specifically, if you're doing bicep curls, you want to make sure that you're feeling the squeeze, and it's not about the weight. The same thing applies to CS. It's not about the amount of kills that we get. It's about how much control we feel over our aim. Because every day as we progress, every day that we repeat this, we're going to feel a little bit more comfortable, and it's going to become that much more natural to slow aim, like we talked about, which will lead to faster aiming. Okay, I've gone slow again. Let's pick up the pace here a little bit. So you can see I'm missing a lot. I'm not too worried about it. Because every day that I do this, I know that I'm going to get a little bit faster and a little bit smoother. Alright. Once we're done with our smooth aiming, next thing we're going to want to do is get comfortable with our strafes. Because aim isn't purely about just how we move our mouse on the mouse pad. Aim has a lot to do with how we coordinate our counter strafes. So something you want to get good at is just pressing A, counter strafing D, and allowing your crosshair to fall on the enemy's head, and just try to click mouse 1 as fast as possible. This is one of those things that the more comfortable you get doing this regularly, you'll notice the transition in the game. You're going to be hitting more counter strafes. You're going to be more ready. And practice the different lengths of counter strafes. You don't have to make them short. Practicing our counter strafe timings is very important. Considering the amount of times that we're going to strafe, peek, and angle, this is something that you're going to want to get good at, is coordinating your mouse movement with your keyboard, making sure that there's a connection when you're going to counter strafe and when you're going to click mouse 1. Now, if this feels a little bit too easy for you, a way we can change this up a little bit. This is something that I got from a Furious aim training video that I find that helped me out a lot. This has to do with counter strafing and a lot to do with getting comfortable moving our arm on the mouse pad. Doing pretty large swipes with the form of pre-aiming, and the emphasis is on the counter strafe and the click on the head. Trying to get those as synced as possible, because the faster you counter strafe and shoot, you have 100% accuracy. So getting that timing down is pretty crucial. Make sure to do both sides. You don't only want to be turning one way. For me, turning left is definitely weaker. So this might be the place for me to spend a little bit more time making sure that when I turn left, I'm feeling comfortable. If you wanted to make this a little bit harder, or you're feeling comfortable, when you complete your counter strafe, just find yourself aiming to a second bot, and then find yourself doing the slow and controlled portion of your aim after your counter strafe. And remember, we don't care about missing kills in here. Our kill death ratio or our 100% accuracy isn't what we're looking for. We're just trying to get comfortable with our hand, moving the mouse, connecting our counter strafes. And that's all. It's all about repetitions. Doing this every day is the answer to getting more comfortable with your mouse hand, getting more comfortable with your counter strafes, which in turn directly correlates to an improvement in your in-game performance. And the type of thing here to remember is that it's a slow and steady. There's no race to finish this. This isn't something you need to get done in 10 minutes. This is the kind of thing that you could spend a little bit of time on, or even do it multiple times per day like I mentioned previously. Alright. Once we're feeling like our counter strafes are feeling pretty good, now this is a form of aim training that I saw Stamina do that I kind of liked. I'll link that video in the description. Just a method of aiming at bots while moving. Being crouched is how you get 100% accuracy with the Deagle, or close to. So it just makes it a little bit easier to hit more shots. But for me, this is mainly about trying to put my crosshair on the enemy for a moment. Can also be seen as a form of flick training, I suppose. The important thing here to remember when you're aim training is that you want to choose activities or things that you personally enjoy doing. The best workout is one that you're going to stick to. That same mentality applies exactly to your aim training. The one that you're going to be able to stick to every day, that you're going to be able to do once per day, twice per day, without feeling like it's a chore, is the best aim training routine that you could possibly do. After I've done those other forms of training, it is important to get a little bit of spray control in. You want to be shooting the bots with different methods just to get comfortable. The AK is the cheapest weapon that you'll most likely be using all the time, so this is pretty much why everybody will spray with an AK, and as it's also one of the harder weapons. I try to keep my spray control minimal. I don't want to be doing too many heavy actions to start, just to get a feel for where the bullets are going and how much I need to move my crosshair. Because you'll notice, the more you understand the AK spray, the less you actually have to move your crosshair. Just about getting in that comfort zone. And then eventually you're going to want to practice spraying early. Let's say you headshot someone instantly, you want to be ready to move on to the next spray. You want to get comfortable working fast. And then back to slow. You might be wondering, why am I starting my spray in the chest? You're not always going to start your spray with a first bullet headshot, giving you a chance to instantly strafe over to the second bot. So you just want to get comfortable putting as many bullets into someone's chest as possible. This is something that I learned from Floppy. I actually thought it was pretty useful. Practicing 180s specifically for those difficult scenarios. It's going to help you train your arm when it's in weird positions that you're not typically comfortable with. And this is something that you have to get used to in CS. Your arm will end up in weird spots. Your mouse is going to end up in a weird spot. You might run out of mouse pad space. These are all things that you want to get comfortable with while you have the chance. You might not face these kind of situations in the game, but there's nothing wrong with a little preparation. I don't do these for too long as they do get tiring on the arm. If I know that my tracing is one of the weaker parts of my game, I'm going to spend more time making sure that my hand is comfortable tracing bots, moving around at different distances as well. Consider the closer you are to someone, the more you're going to have to use your arm to aim. Just tracking with a wrist here is practically impossible. Unless you're playing on a high enough sensitivity. Something to keep in mind. Something super important that I feel like a lot of people forget about is that practice makes perfect. You'll never actually be perfect, but you can get as close to it as possible by actually putting in the hours. Avoid changing your sensitivity. Avoid changing your resolution. For me, crosshair doesn't matter too much. I feel like Donk kind of nailed it best.
You don't care about the crosshair?
No, to be honest, I care a lot.
Okay.
I'm always trying to find something new that's gonna help me feel myself better. But
Okay. So you change the crosshair frequently?
I'm just searching, like, we have break before tournaments, before
Sure.
games, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to search some new crosshair if I feel it. If I think all good and I'm killing people, I'm not changing.
You stay.
Once you have a sensitivity that you're comfortable with, though, you're going to want to avoid changing that. So when you do this every day, you're feeling comfortable. You notice the growth. You notice how much faster you are when you're aiming at bots. You don't have as much hesitation. Your arm feels comfortable. That's what we're trying to accomplish. Doing this every single day is a guaranteed way to improve your aim. Hope you were able to learn something. If there's even one thing that you could take from this video and apply to your aim training routine, then I would consider that a success. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.